I think I went live a minute early. That's all right. I did just have like a sneeze attack, so I swear I'm not sick. Not that it matters. You can't catch it from me here. But I'll try to keep the snorting down to a minimum. Let me just readjust this real quick while we wait to see if anyone else is going to join us. And if not, that's cool. Debbie and I will have fun. And you guys can watch later if you like. All right. So, So what I'm doing today basically is kind of prepping for some mixed media pieces that I've been wanting to do. I've been messing around with it on and off all year, whether it's researching, shopping for materials, prepping materials, whatever. And today I'm finally starting to get moving on it and see if I can get it going, because it takes hold of me every once in a while and I get super obsessed with it, and then it falls off, the obsession falls off, and then I'm not doing it anymore. And today I want to reignite that obsession. So yeah, I'm just going to do this on little 5x7s right now. Man, that's weird because it's too bright if I turn it up a little bit, but then it's too dark if I don't. So let's try this. Thanks for putting up with me while I adjust my cameras, like I should have done long before you guys got here. So if I point it down, maybe it'll be better. All right, let's see. All right, fine. That's good enough. Okay, so what I'm wanting to do here, I like to work in a series especially when I'm trying something new, because it kind of economizes movements and materials. And welcome, Tammy. Nothing yet. We just started. I was just starting to explain that I'm working today on my mixed media abstract idea that I've been kind of ruminating on all year long. So basically, yeah, so I'm going to work in a series because it economizes moves and materials. It helps me think through the process better. Like if I just do one, then each step that I do, it's like one and done. There's, repetition is what kind of solidifies something in your mind. But it also helps you work out bugs. So if I was only doing one, I do a technique or a layer, whatever, and then I'm on to the next one. I'm no longer thinking about that one, and I may not be able to recall it easier when I go back to do another one later. But if I do 4 and I do this technique or layer, and then I do it again, and I'm able to kind of adjust what maybe I didn't like or pull out something that I did like from here. And then over here, I'm going to do the same thing and the same thing. Now I've practiced that one technique or idea 4 different times. It's a little bit more solidified in there. So that's why I do that. Because I'm working in a series, though, I want to make sure that there's a little bit of cohesion there between them, that they could be sold together, they could be hung separately. So what I've decided to do is come up with kind of a standard way to choose my palette for these. So I'm not using standard colors, but I'm going to use a standard method. And so far the method that I'm working with is I want to pick a warm color, a cool color, a neutral color, and a white. So for example, I did just some canvas prep on some 12x16s, and these are the colors that I chose. So I've got my warm and my cool. They're very, very different. And my neutral, which is this kind of dark brown, and then my white, which is just kind of a dove gray. So I'm going to pick 4 colors based on what I want to see there. And each brush load, so each canvas is going to have all 4 colors on it. So there is a harmony there, but they'll also each represent one of the colors fully, if that makes sense. Okay, so here's what I did. So for my dark one, for the brown, I did this one. I got a little fancy with some palette knife bloppies, but this is what I did there. And for my dove gray one, I think I like it in this orientation. I don't know, maybe like that. You can see how there's other colors in here. For the blue one, there's this, and it won't sit on my palette anymore, or my easel. And then for the warm one, there's this one. I really like this one a lot. So these are just kind of going to be backgrounds for the mixed media part. The painting is not the important part here, except that it kind of sets the color and the mood. So, I kind of have an idea for these. I was thinking for my neutral color that I would just use Mars Black. For my white, I am thinking Titan Violet. Now I need to think about my warm and my cool. So one thing that I want to do with my warm and cool is I don't necessarily want complementary colors. I want a little bit of dissonance in there. So what I mean by dissonance is it's kind of like if you're listening to music and there's a sour note that's hit, but it almost works. Like you can tell it's a sour note, but it doesn't sound totally bad. So that's dissonance. So for example, on the color wheel here, like these would be complementary, right? We've got blue, green, and red, orange. They're exact opposites. They make each other pop really well. They look really good together. But what if I choose blue violet in kind of a muted version and red orange in like a, so we'll go blue violet here, this grayish one, and then red orange in this bright saturated one. Like the dissonance there between those two colors is quite a lot. So that's what I'm looking for. Like the colors I used on the ones that I showed you, I used ultramarine, yellow ochre. These two colors do not mix beautifully, but these are the two colors that I used. Ultramarine, yellow ochre, raw umber, and I think I just used white, just titanium white. Okay, so now I have to choose my warm and my cool. What am I thinking? Considering the black and the Titan Violet, I feel like I want something that's gonna contrast kind of those cooler, more violet tones. But if I go yellow, I'm going to get like green with the Mars Black if I use too much of it. Any suggestions? Welcome, Ma. Anybody have any suggestions? A warm and a cool? Two colors that you think do not look good together. keep going for yellows, but I think I don't want yellow. Oh, okay, I have it. Where is it? Where is it? It might be here. I have a color that I never use. I bought it because I think it's beautiful. I never use it. It's this Terra Vert by Golden. Beautiful, beautiful color. It's a little transparent. It's very chalky, very dusty green. All right, and a warm color that will contrast it. But I don't want to go nutso with like quinacridone magenta. Something warm. Ooh. How about... let's go burnt sienna. Opaque burnt sienna. Let's see what happens. Okay, so... I have another set that I'm working on too. Just trying to, keep practicing some of the ideas so that it solidifies them. I'm going to put black and then, nope, that's not the right white. I'm really interested to see how that Terra Vert works with everything else here. You're creatively stuck right now? Oh, Tammy, I hate that. Dude, do what I'm doing. You could even just grab 4 random colors. Like, seriously, if the idea of making decisions is really hard right now, which I totally get, just grab 4 random colors and do this. The only reason I'm putting energy into a specific choice is because it's something that I want to be able to repeat. And if I want to be able to repeat it and have all of the different series fit in with each other, then I feel like I have to have a standard method for choosing my palette. But it's certainly not required. Oh, this palette is pretty. I like this. I'll show you. Give me 1 second here. I hope this Terra Vert is not gelled up because I haven't used it in a very long time. All right, looks like we're good. But yeah, Tammy, grab some colors and a paintbrush and just come do this with me. Maybe just some paper so it's low stakes. The other one that I'm doing, I don't have them done, and I didn't pick swatch cards, but the other set that I'm doing, I'm using Titan Green for my white. I'm actually using Neutral Gray number 4 for my neutral. Cad Orange and Cobalt Teal. So I went nuts so there. Okay. Now, just like with anything else I do, I'm working in layers. I have come to discover that layers make everything, hello Meta, layers make everything look more professional, more intentional, and a little bit richer and more dynamic. So even though these are fairly, they're going to be fairly monochromatic, each one, I'm still going to do layers. So I'm just going to work in order. Come on. My palette's on fire, dude. All right. So I'm just going to work in order here. But every brush stroke is going to have, or every palette, every canvas is going to have all 4 colors in it. So if I want this one to be black, represent the black, so I'm going to load up with my black first. A little bit of my white. A little bit of my warm color. A little bit of my green. And every time I go back for more paint, it's going to be different. This green is so transparent, it really takes a bit to make it show. Well, it's transparent, but it's also got very low tinting power. Okay. That's good. Now, since every canvas is going to have all of the colors represented, I'm not even going to wash my brush. I'm just going to wipe it off. Heck yeah, do it, Tammy. Whatever you got to do, man. I just wiped it off. And next on my palette is white, so that's where we'll go. It's just also really fun to play with colors and watch how, you know, a set of seemingly unrelated colors that you might have chosen at random or that you chose intentionally, but to intentionally make them look random, which is kind of what I've tried to do. I just think it's so much fun to watch how they, you know, the interplay between them. And you guys aren't seeing any of the nuance here. That looks black. This looks gray. But I can see like some bias shifts. Like up at the top here, it's much cooler, a little more violet. Right in here, it's much more green. A little bit of extra black down there. Okay, and yeah, I'm just gonna wipe this off a little bit. And next on my palette is the Burnt Sienna. So it's almost like using mother colors. Some of you who have been around with me for a while, you might remember years ago when we did mother color experiments. Basically what a mother color is, if you've never heard that term, is a color on your palette that is involved in every color mixture in your painting. So like, let's say that black is my mother color. That means that every time I, pick up paint, I'm going to pick up black. It doesn't matter what color I'm using, I'm going to mix black into it. Black would be my mother color. In this case, all of the colors are mother colors. We're just balancing them differently. Okay. God, that is so dark. All right. Now the green one I'm definitely going to have to be a little more careful with because it's going to very quickly be balanced out by the other colors. So I'll just grab a hint of this stuff here. So, do you guys remember several months ago when, you probably don't remember, we did like a little thing where I was kind of showing you how to think about composition on paper, and I took a sheet of paper and just like scribbled all over it with a pencil, and then took another piece of paper with like a rectangle cut out of it and held it over all of those squiggly lines to see which compositions I liked the best. That was for this project, so maybe we'll get there today. I doubt it. I doubt we'll get to that part in our video today, but we'll see. You can tell how transparent that Terra Vert is. Might use some ultra matte medium on it later. You remember that? I thought you would, Tammy. All right, let's see. Now you can see it at least a little bit closer to what I see. I'm picturing this one being very charcoal, very, very charcoal-y. Another thing I want for each canvas is for it to have a distinct personality. So, like in this one, it's got, you know, kind of this little cloudy, highlighty bit in here. I love this part. And then I allowed it to be a little bit more gray. It just feels kind of sunny but rusty to me. This one is a little bit more subdued, a little bit calmer, especially up at the top. But then I do have a little bit of some threads of the colors showing. This one is even more subdued, very, very smooth everywhere, except it's got a little bit of a rusty bit. And then these brush marks just kind of happened, and I kind of liked them, so I just left them. It's the only one that's got straight brush marks like that. And then this one, I, did a little bit of palette knife on there just to introduce some texture that's not in the other ones. So I'm going to do the same thing with these, but let's give these a break for a second because I need to figure out what kind of color schemes I want to use for the other elements on top of, I don't know why my lights just flickered, but if I disappear, guys, the power went out. Yeah, the other elements that I'm going to put on top are the really important things. And like I said, it's going to be mixed media. I've got, what do I have? I have some white silk, very, very fine, very, very transparent white silk. I can use that. I've got t-shirt yarn that I've made, which is kind of funky. Oh, I'll grab one. So yeah, you can make t-shirt yarn. You can buy it too, but no, why buy it for $12 when you can make it for $87, right? So here's some t-shirt yarn, if that gives you a bit of an idea of kind of what I'm going for. Something along these lines. Just tons and tons and tons of this. I bought white t-shirt fabric and then a whole lot of RIT dye that I haven't touched yet. And that's what it was for, is for dyeing this. So I did dye this. So I've got the silk, I've got the t-shirt yarn, I got some white mohair, super, super fine, thin white mohair that I am gonna knit and use kind of some like ripped knits of the white mohair. I have beads. I've got tons of beads in here and over here. Whoop. So all of the elements that I bought, the t-shirt yarn, the mohair, the silk, I made sure that they were all dyeable so I can dye all of them with my RIT. I did hand make some beads also with air dry clay, and then I can just paint those to match whatever I need. So I kind of want to go through all of these with my Color Aid cards and just get an idea of what kind of color schemes to use on them so that I can plan out dyeing all of my materials. Yeah, I did one. I kind of put one together a while ago, but I think I got a little carried away. And then I kind of got a bit, you guys know what it's like, right? If you do something and you're disappointed in the outcome, it makes it hard to go back and do it again. So that's kind of where I've been. All right, let's make sure I can see all of these. I don't need them all to have the exact same colors on them, but I do want to be able to have a common thread that maybe, maybe works with all of them. I just want to see. I haven't laid them out like this. I want to see how well I did on my... Pretty close. Not too bad. This one didn't end up as bright, and at first I was like, I need to make that brighter, but then I really liked what was going on. This one did end up a little bluer, a little darker, but yeah, I think I did a pretty good job. Okay. So, definitely don't want colors like this. Ooh, this is too much dissonance. I want, just knowing what I want on here, I want to kind of keep, thanks, I really like them too. I'm very happy with how they turned out. I want to keep the elements on top special. And so what I mean by that is I'm not necessarily looking to match these, and I'm not looking to create an intense contrast. I guess what I mostly want to do is find a pop color. This is probably going to be my pop color. I cannot get enough of this color, and look at how good it looks. Here, I'll get a little bit more of it so you can see a larger selection of it on there. But I really like that color, and it looks so good with that dark canvas. It's not quite as good with the light canvas. I would probably go with a dark color on the light canvas. I really like that on the blue. But I might also find a more neutrally pale color. I've actually got one. Let me grab it. I just have a couple balls of this that I've dyed. So I might need to make more. Ooh. Such a mess. Okay. So these are the ones I'm getting like all tangled up, and these are all the ones that I've made, that I've dyed. So I might go on the blue one. I've got this kind of camel color that I really, really like. So I like that. We'll just drop it down the back. That's fine. And this kind of taupe color. It's supposed to be taupe, but I only left it in the dye for a few seconds. So it really just kind of got stained. I don't think that's right for the blue. It's a little warm. I've got a pearl gray that I bet if I just touch the fabric to it, that would be really pretty. I do like that on the orange though. Good grief. Stop it. I do actually like that on the orange. So I'm going to set that right there because I like that. And of course I just dropped the orange one down the back and now it's all unwound everywhere. So these ideas came from a place where one day I was feeling super bored with my technique, with the things that I paint. And I think that that's a normal thing. When you kind of find who you are suddenly very bored with who you are. So, who you are as an artist, I mean. And I feel like I kind of got there. And so I was really kind of thrashing around looking for something else. Like, what else can I do? How can I turn what I do upside down and find joy in something else? Not to completely quit doing what I do, but to give myself the option of saying, I don't want to do those paintings today. I want to do these paintings today. So this is that pearl gray color that I have. I don't like that. I can't tell if I like that or not. I do like that. I think I would want it a little darker though, but I do like that. I don't think I like that. Okay, I'll set that here. Please don't fall. And then I've got a couple of teals because it wouldn't be me if I didn't have teal, right? All right. And yes, I did pick colors for these based on the yarns that I already had made. No. That's not too bad. It's also a little, I would definitely need something dark in there to balance that out. I still need to think about value. All of our concepts that we talked about in, our art concepts and our color theory concepts, all of those are kind of guiding this. And I think that good abstract art is guided by those principles that we've talked about. And I think that's how you can spot good abstract art from bad abstract art. Bad abstract art is just kind of like, I don't know, I just did something and it doesn't look like anything, so I'm going to call it abstract. You can have good abstract art that way, but I think that it's very rare. But good abstract art takes into consideration the principles of art and color theory. And that is yucky. And that is yucky. It's okay there, but I still don't love it. Here's a darker one. I think this is a double dye. I think it was taupe and then I dyed it with like a sage green. No. Okay, so let's see what I have. in my color cards try and find some other colors that would be interesting. Nope. I'm not going to brandish each color and decide. I'm only going to go with what stands out to me. I don't hate that pink on here. I don't hate it on here either. It actually looks pretty good with that orange, doesn't it? A little bit of dissonance again. I don't hate it. That's really all that's all I'm going for here is which ones don't I hate. I think I'm only going to pick maybe three colors. I do kind of want a second pop color. I want a pop color. This is going to be one pop color. I want one that will look good on at least two of these and maybe accent a third. And I want another one that'll look good on two of the other ones and maybe accent a third. And I think I'm gonna need a blue. We'll keep that dissonance there. Ugh, no. Bright freaking yellow. I don't even know if I have a yellow dye, actually. I might not have yellow. I think this is my only yellow. Yeah, so I want to make these. I'm not looking to make them to, make $1 million or sell them or anything like that. I'm more... That looks a lot brighter to you than it looks to me. It's very powdery. More, I just want to make them to give myself that different experience. Art is, it is about more than, making something that someone wants to buy. And I know that, we have to make money, right? And we can't, I don't hate that. We'll just leave it there. We have to make money, but we also have to have... That's not too bad. Yeah, that's pretty far away from the other ones I have. We also have to have joy. And we have to have things that are for us. And so, ooh, I like that. I like that green. And so there's nothing wrong with finding some art that you can do. Oh, that's good. Just for yourself. In fact, I would say it's very necessary to do so. It might be about there. I think I want to find something a little more neutral. More on the almost white, but super pale side. Almost white, but kind of grayish. In fact, let's check this Dove Gray again. It does look really good with everything except that one, which is fine. But it looks good with all of those. Hello. What's up, Donna? Thinking about that a lot lately. You have to do sketchbook work, either play or practicing specific things in order to make my paintings go where I want them to go. But, yep. I then feel guilty that I'm not putting that time into new paintings for sale. But the thing is, Tammy, is it's just like, they're all part of the same chair, right? Okay, if we have a three-legged stool, I think we've all heard the three-legged stool analogy, right? If we have a three-legged stool and that is art. One of them is practice, one of them is play, one of them is work. Those are the legs. If you remove one of those legs, then, and you're trying to be like a professional artist, right? Which, Tammy, I kind of get the feeling that you are trying to be, or you are being a professional artist. If you don't have all three of those legs on the stool represented, then it falls over. And I know from personal experience, because I completely eschewed joy and practice for work. And I burnt myself out so bad. And I don't know that I'll ever actually get over that burnout that I inflicted on myself. It'll be a very long time before I do. But you have to practice. I mean, if you're only working, you're not practicing, you're not playing, you're not continuing to learn, you're not going to continue to grow. So don't feel guilty about it. Yeah, exactly. Got to build them. Donna can't think about any of it until after the Halloween party. That's fair. All right, let's see. Just a couple more. I might be done. I'm just going to flip through these real quick and see if anything else jumps out at me. Everything's so bright. Although, hear me out. Boom. That could be really amazing. I'm pretty sure I don't have that color. I could get it, but I don't have it. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. I think that might be it. Oh, there's some neutrals. Let's just flip through these last ones here at the end, and then we'll move on. Do I like this one better? I don't think they're that much different. I'm going to go with the darker one. Okay. That's good. All right. So we are basically going with very similar colors to what I did initially. These three. Do I want to pop a little bit of teal somewhere? I feel like that's too much. So I think I'm going to go with these, which means I will have to dye more yarn. This one is actually already pretty stinking close, so that's good. This one, please don't fight with me. Come on, don't be a jerk. This one is good. It's just, it's not dark enough, so I think I will take some of it off of this ball. Maybe I'll just dye the whole ball and I'll make it black. I've already got my gold here. So that'll be my t-shirt yarn. My silk is white. I might leave it white or else just dirty it ever so slightly so it's not pure white. Maybe I'll put taupe on it because that's just a nice, almost like a tea stain color. I thought I had some taupe or a different. Yeah, it's on the one that I abandoned before. That's fine. No, I'm not going to show you. Okay. So the mohair and the silk. The mohair and the silk, I might leave white for this one and probably this one. Because sometimes contrast is too much. Sometimes being very quiet is very pleasing. And I do feel like this is kind of quiet Even though this is so dark and this is so bright, this does mirror what's going on in there. They're very similar tones because I used yellow ochre to do that. And I feel like if done right, this can feel quiet in here. And this, even though I'm going to have some almost black, if I balance that black with white mohair and silk, I think it can keep this from being too gritty. Ironically, it's the blue one that I'm having the hardest time with. This is probably just going to be a play one where I have no idea. I'm just going to take what I have and see what I can do there. And then beads. Let's see. Like I said, I have some white beads that I made that I can paint. But let's see if I've got anything in here. These are just like seed beads, kind of mirrory. I don't think you can see them. I think that's too flashy. Maybe on this one. Maybe on these two might like some flashy beads. I do like these. I know you can't really see any of my beads, but these are almost like frosty. They're white, but they're kind of frosted. Just more seed beads. These are cool. I like these. Some of these are definitely going to make their way in. So these are pyrite, like fool's gold. And I've got a couple sizes of those, and then these raw shapes. Let's see. Turn up the brightness a bit so you can see them. So kind of those raw shape pyrites. And then these are Amazonite. They almost look like beach rocks. Very neutrally color. Some like wood discs, and then some ceramic beads that I think the color scheme is pretty on point with all of this. So these ceramic beads are probably going to make it in there. What else do I have? Okay. Let's do another coat on our little ones while I think about those. Because these should be dry. And then I might let you guys go and get busy on my next steps. Hang on, I'm going to hit these with the blow dryer. They're still kind of wet. I turned on my hair dryer and Mr. Moon was eating, and he flipped around and looked at me like, oh, how dare you. I'm going to use some Ultra Matte Medium for the green because I don't want to fight with that. And remember that Ultra Matte Medium makes things more opaque. So that's what we're going to do. Yeah, that really helps. But it's just fun. It's fun to just do something completely outside of anything I've ever done before. To think about things in ways that I've never really thought about them before. Because I do kind of feel like in a lot of ways in my paintings, I'm kind of on autopilot. Because I know what my process is. I have all of my colors chosen already because I work in a limited palette. I have my standard types of things that I paint. But it's really nice to be able to step outside of that and just try something new. Just introducing some variety there. So I'm not going into this pressuring myself to like make something that I can sell or anything like that. Strictly for the fun of it. Actually, I don't like that. That was too like checkerboardy. But I do like a little bit of extra dark. Yeah, I'll leave it like that. These are going to be fun ones to try and select colors for because these are pretty outside of the types of colors that I've been thinking about and working in the past on this project. Oh my gosh. Golden really needs to figure out their lid game because I'm so tired of fighting to get lids off. Oh my gosh. Ugh. Oh, but look what happened to my Liquitex today. My cadmium orange. And I got it out to work on one of these. Grabbed my cadmium orange, went to take the lid off. The lid wouldn't come off, but it was spinning like this. Look at that. It totally broke off in there. So now I'm like, well, great, because I have half a tube. And this CAD-free is not cheap. So I'm trying to just like balance it on the lid and hope that it seals itself without drying everything out. That's not bad, actually. No, I don't have any. Well, I can't even put it on. The plastic, the threads on the top of the tube broke off. So even if I had another lid, I couldn't put it on it. Oh, What a pain. So yeah, it's the tube that actually broke. Let's see, let's try this. Ooh, I like that. Let's get more like a pure black right in here. There's a lot more nuance to this one than what you guys can see. Oh yeah, I could probably put some cling wrap over it. That's a good idea. Thanks, Donna. I am cleaning my brush here because I want to make sure that this doesn't get too muddy, the light one. Let's see. I just want to be able to control it, and there was so much paint on my brush. Let's start with mostly just my Titan Violet. I like that green in there quite a lot. There is not as much difference in this painting as it looks to you guys. What is going on today? Seriously, why can't I don't know what's going on. All right. Okay. I think that's good. I think I'm happy. I might do a little bit more before I move on, but I do think I like those. Yeah. So, guys, my challenge to you is to do something similar. I don't mean, go crazy and go buy all kinds of things to make weird mixed media abstracts. I mean, unless that's your jam. But I mean, I want you to open yourself up to doing things that you've never done before. Consider art styles and approaches and colors and materials and everything you can. Consider it all and give yourself an opportunity to play around. And don't do like I did and get discouraged if you do one and it doesn't quite hit the mark. If it doesn't quite hit the mark, then recalibrate, which is kind of what I'm doing right now, and come back at it. But don't let yourself sit and be discouraged. And I gotta tell you, and Tammy, I think I'm talking to you here. If you're feeling really blocked in your art, feeling dissatisfied with your ideas, it's quite possible that you need to do something like this to kind of help open yourself back up to that creativity. So, I want you to do it. I want you to just find a way to kind of reconnect. And sometimes the best way to reconnect artistically is to reach out for something you've never even considered before. Stop and make a list. This is actually what I did when I was, when I first kind of came up with the idea to do this. I made a list of what is it that I feel about my art right now. I felt bored. I felt unchallenged. I felt confined by the canvas. The canvas being very like, this is the area that you have to work within. You cannot work outside of this area. It's a canvas. Obviously, you guys know that I was feeling confined by the canvas because I started painting on frames. So I wanted to make art that extended outside of the canvas. And so that was a big part of my decision into what I'm doing right now. So sit and ask yourself those questions and then find a way to answer those questions. I'm frustrated by the confinement of a canvas. All right, well, let's not be confined by the canvas anymore. So, all right, if I make any meaningful progress, I will share that with you. And maybe we'll get together later this week and work on the house. Maybe it'll be this again, maybe, who knows. So, real quick, and then I'll let you go. I am going to go pay for my photographs this week, day after tomorrow, Wednesday, and get started making test prints. Yay! So, that's about it. All right, my friends, I will talk to you all soon, and I hope that you have a great week. Goodbye.